Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on this evening. It's such a huge encouragement first and foremost to have you all here. You know, I came up with this training, I thought it would really benefit everybody. Just little small things that you can implement into your business to help you get better success as builders. You know, I've called it the cheat code for builders. So it's little things that maybe you've never thought of before, or maybe you have, but maybe the reminder is really helpful to you. So I've called it TTT, top tips and tricks, the cheat code for builders. It's a bit of a tongue twister to say, I didn't think of that. So first thing that I'd like to speak to you about is like a little just a thing that is great to remember. CPR, you know, cries emergency. So CPR stands for complement, peak and recruit. So compliment, if you're, you know, if it's somebody that you're used to, that you know very well, your warm market, as we say, your family, friends, people that know you well and that you know very well, it's quite easy to find a compliment to give them. You know, even just saying, oh, I'm so grateful that you're in my life is a massive compliment, isn't it? So let's talk about the cold market for a minute, the people that you don't know so well, that you might meet on an occasion when you go out, when you visit an establishment, when you go out to dinner, or go out for a drink with your friends or something like that. Now we can do it. Is great. So compliment, if you're piquing someone at their place of work, this works really well. So just saying thank you first and foremost to that person for their service is such a huge compliment. Imagine they're working hard all day, every day, you know, sometimes into late hours. Just hearing thank you and that appreciation from somebody makes a real difference, and you will see them beam, quite frankly. So just try it, go out when you go to a restaurant or something like that. Just say, thank you so much for your service. You've made such a difference to myself, my friends that I'm with right here. We're really enjoying this this event because of you. You know, I just want to take a moment to appreciate you and say thank you. You'll see how much of a smile they have on their face just from that. And then you want to pique them. So this is where you ask them a question, see if they want to have a look at the opportunity based on, you know, the very small bit of information, but your excitement is the most thing that is going to intrigue them and get them to want to know more. And so your opening questions, whatever that might be, you probably have your own script that you use and that you're comfortable using. But imagine, here's just a few examples of the ones that I use sometimes. So are you open to another stream of income? Do you work here full-time or part-time? You're actually taking interest in them as well, which is nice. So it's a personal touch. Whatever their answer is, great. How long have you worked here for? Whatever they say, whether it's 1 year, whether it's 3 years, whether it's 10 years, just say to them, well, you must really love it working here that long, you know? Get them thinking, you know, give them some probing questions so they think about, wow, I have worked here quite long. Maybe it's time for change, you never know. And then also, you know, you have such an awesome personality. The team I'm part of are so positive and fun. You would fit right in, another compliment / a peak. So you can play around with it and you can kind of combine them sometimes. And then you want to recruit. So this is where you invite them to come and have a look at the opportunity to learn more information about it. So, you know, invite them to attend an event or the opportunity, or even a one-on-one. And some of you, if you attend my training on a Wednesday, you'll know that I talk a lot about frog's legs, yes. But if I would you, it's a really powerful statement. And it's a really powerful tactic to use to encourage people to come and see the information without feeling, you know, too much pressure. You're actually you're saying, I'm going to something, so therefore feel inclined to give something back, or at least accept you know, the idea that you're putting out there, and most importantly. So
welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Lloyd. Today we're going to talk about skills. What do you need to do? What skills do you need to develop in order to be more successful in network marketing? And on that topic, I'm going to give you a phrase that I've used in my network marketing career that is literally the magic words for network marketing success. You use this phrase starting today, and your network marketing success is going to grow astronomically. And here's what it is. If I would you. Here's what this means. If I send you a link that shares what we have to offer with our products, would you review it? If I give you a brochure, would you read it? If I invited you to a special private event at my home, would you attend? If I introduced you to by phone to one of the people that I work with on a three-way phone call, would you have a conversation with them? See, what would you does is it puts you in a position of strength. If I shared my product with you, would you try it out to see if it works for you? See what I'm saying? If I works a whole bunch of psychological reasons. Number one, it puts you in control. It doesn't say that you're going to give them something. It says, if I decide to give you this gift, would you take a step? And psychologically, we are programmed as human beings to respond positively to people who give us stuff first. So if you just ask somebody, would you watch the video? That's not going to get you the result. If you say, if I gave you a link to watch the video, would you watch it? And psychologically, they're programmed to say, they're giving me something. All right, I'm going to give something in return. This works unbelievably for all your prospects, and it works for your team. If I invited you to come to the company convention, would you go? If I invited you to a special conference call for leaders, would you listen in? If I gave you the information for a special training event that's going to happen in our area, would you join me? If I would you start to use these words every day with your prospects and with your team. You notice that I do this a lot through Network Marketing Pro. If I asked you to subscribe to this channel, would you do it? You're like, well, yeah, maybe I would. See what I'm saying? I do this all the time. If I invite you, will you attend? If I share this with you, will you review it? If I invited you for coffee, would you sit down with me? If I, see what I'm saying? Would you? It's magical what it will do for your business, what it will do for your life, what it will do for your network marketing success, and that's what I want for you. All right, so start using it, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome, guys. So I follow Eric Worre really closely. I advise you to do the same. In this industry, he is one of the main tycoons that you could possibly think of. So there's so much to be learned from him. You know, just Google him, look him up on YouTube. You'll see tons and tons of resources and videos there. Oops. Okay, so get the digits. When you're picking somebody and you need to get their phone number, sometimes they're reluctant. I've been through that. You've probably experienced that yourself as well, especially for cold contacts, obviously. And so if the person's reluctant to give you their number, give them your phone. As long as you're safe to do that, you've been talking to them for a minute. Give them your phone and tell them to put their number in it, saying, you know, pop your number in there and I'll give you a missed call so that you have mine as well. Or, you know, ask them to take their phone if they're open to that and offer your number. Act like they've got the number wrong or something if they just start putting your number in once you're telling them the number, and type the number in again. Just, you know, ask their permission first. Say, shall I just put it in for you? Put the number in and say, you know, I'll just miss call myself that I have your number as well to call you. When's the most convenient time to reach you? And make a note of the time, because I've sometimes got so excited that I've picked people and I've forgotten the time that they've given me. So, you know, as you record their name and ask them for their name to put with the contact number, you know, put in the time as well somewhere just to remind you and just to have it noted somewhere. So the assumptive close. This one is really effective. I hope you guys are taking notes of this, you know. I am recording as well, but just, you know, take notes. You know what we say in the academy, you know how we do. Writing it down makes it sink in, makes you absorb it even more. So the assumptive close, what is this? So when you're booking an appointment with anyone, potential team members or existing team members for trainings or presentation events, whatever, you know, only give them 2 options at first. What this does is it adds the urgency that you need for them to make a choice then and there. And also it creates the impression in their mind that there's no other option. So they pick one of the 2 that you've offered them through fear of loss if they don't pick one of them. And when you leave it in their hands to choose a time and date, they will always procrastinate and take time getting back to you. But this is a way of just making them, you know, adding that urgency to make an appointment with you then and there, so that you can actually, you know, actually have that booked, in that meeting booked for yourself. So when you ask them, where's Joy? I'm going to fire you. Let everyone in. Okay, so what time can we meet? Monday or Tuesday? So you're giving them 2 options. Then they say, you know, I can do Tuesday, or maybe they say I can't do Monday or Tuesday. So then you can open the opportunity for them for 2 other days, but don't give them like forever to choose. You know, don't give them everything that they can choose from. Still only say 2 days. So if you say Monday and Tuesday, they say I can't make it. you say, okay, Thursday or Friday, and hopefully they'll pick one. You know, you keep doing this as you go forward, but it just creates that urgency with them to say, okay, I must make a decision and just choose something. So if they, you know, if they say, okay, I can do Tuesday, you say, okay, what time can you meet for 30 minutes? Again, another assumptive close, give them 2 times that are convenient for you. You know, you hold the control here. So you can actually make it convenient for yourself, your schedule, you know what you've got to do from day to day, make it fit into your timetable that you've already got, and make it not inconvenient for yourself. If they say, I can't do 3 or 8, you know, then you can be a bit more flexible with it and just say, you know, okay, you know, how about 6 or 9, you know, I've got those times as well. Or you can just say to them, you can say to them, if they are very reluctant and very difficult, you can say to them, okay, what time suits you? And then if you're willing, you can juggle your schedule and you can just say to them, okay, that's fine, I'm really busy, but I'll fit you in at that time. I'll move things around just for you. And if they say, if they're really difficult and they say, you know, as a time, I will let you know. We don't like that. We want to get a date in the diary then and there. So what I like to say to people that are, you know, full of procrastination and will take forever to get back to me, I like to say my calendar gets booked up very fast. So can we pencil in a time at least for our diary so I can keep it free for you at least? You know, that makes you sound like you're trying to accommodate them as much as you can, but also it makes them feel quite, you know, also introduces that idea of your poise. You know, you're very busy, you get booked up. So it creates that urgency again and that kind of, that caliber of how you operate, so that they can see, okay, this person means their stuff, they're booked up fast, so they get lots of appointments, they must be very good at what they do. So it speaks volumes for yourself, but also it shows that you're willing to adapt a little bit, you know, just to accommodate them. So language, use this word open. It's so effective, super effective, more than you know. So are you open to an additional stream of income? So I've also underlined additional because that's an important word to use as well. So open, what does this do? Because deep down, everybody considers themselves to be open or wants to be open because it's a super positive thing to be, right? So also something that happens subconsciously to the back of a person's brain when you use this word, you know, it opens, it makes them more open-minded. So they go forward being open-minded, even if they weren't that way before. It's incredibly effective. Give it a go, try. If you usually use something else in your vocabulary, replace it with that and see how it goes. Now, additional is important to use instead of an extra stream of income or instead of another stream of income. You can use those words, but I prefer to use additional. Why do I prefer to use that? Because we don't want them to feel like we're kind of disrupting their flow or their schedule or what they usually do, the job that they have or the other businesses that they might do. You don't want to feel like I'm poaching you from that and I'm taking you to mine. So I prefer to use additional because it says that you've already got some, but you're going to have extras, which are just a bonus extra income coming in. So there's this little definition here on the right hand side, how to be an open person. So it says being an open person can mean many different things, all of them positive. Coming back to that idea of I want to be open-minded because it's a positive thing. It's a term with no set definition, but it generally includes some combination of friendliness, approachability, honesty, open-mindedness, tolerance, and personal authenticity. So open people tend to be more happy, charismatic, likable, and successful compared to people who are closed off. While some people are open by nature, others can learn to be more open with practice and a little mindfulness. So there we go, open, use it. Take the pressure off the person that you're, the contact that you have, or that, whether it's warm market or cold market. So after your opening line, whatever that might be, are you open to an extra stream of income on a part-time basis that won't interrupt what you're already doing, is a good way to put it as well. So you make them, you reassure them that it's not going to interrupt anything they've got going on already. After you've invited them to see the information, you can say to them, hey, it might not be for you, take the pressure off, but maybe this might be something that you can really benefit from, like many others are right now. So a few things happen there. You've taken the pressure off, which is good because you're kind of giving it to them and taking it away. So that fear of loss will come into play. it's kind of like, no, 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 honestly, it will be fine. It might not be for me, but, you know, I'll be open-minded to at least look at it. It's not going to cost me anything or take up too much of my time. But maybe this might be something you really benefit from, like many others are right now. So you've given them that reassurance, you've given them that idea, that picture of loads of other people are benefiting from it already. So why not you? And so that fear of loss comes into play again. You can say something like, are you available this Thursday evening? One of our most successful leaders will be sharing the information so you can make an informed decision. Important, because a lot of people, they come and see an opportunity and they think it's going to be flimsy. You know, they think it's just going to be someone saying blah, 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 and not really, you know, assertive on what they're talking about, or maybe not even that clued up on what they're talking about. But when they come in, they see the caliber of people that are presenting the information and how much clarity they have when they're doing it, how eloquently they speak. You know, they'll come in and they'll see the information and be able to make an informed decision. That's what everybody wants, you know, to be able to actually choose an opportunity based on the, you know, the solidity of it in their minds. And so you're painting that picture by saying make an informed decision. I do not know if you'll be able to, I do not know if I'll be able to get you on the call because they max out quite a lot. But let me talk to them and make a special request for you. Then I will confirm it with you if that's okay. So, you know, I like to say, if that's okay, ask their permission, because at the end of the day, that's considerate to do. But also it's that kind of push-pull thing, that reverse psychology, you know, you're actually saying to them, you know, you're taking the pressure off, but you're also creating a little bit of healthy pressure as well by saying, you know, I might not be able to get you on the call, you've given it and taken away, but let me see what I can do. I'm stepping out for you on a limb here to make sure that you get a spot in that event, and then once I've done that, I'll confirm with you if that's okay. So you're also asking for them to actually confirm with you, yes, it's okay, and when they do so, they're committed. So you've got them to agree to come to an event without even realizing it, in a roundabout way, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, so down here, like I said, it makes them feel special, like you're going the extra mile for them, and they'll probably be more inclined to accept your you know, your proposal. So presentation, the opening of a presentation. These are just, you know, I'm just talking you through some of the little things that I implement that are quite powerful and get me results. So the opening of my presentations, I always, let's say if the contact is not my direct contact and it's a contact of one of my team members, I always ask them how they know the person. So if, let's say Mona's in my team, if she introduces me to somebody, her cousin, let's say, and I meet him or her, and I say to them, how do you know Mona? You know, or if I don't know that they're the cousin, you know, if they're a friend or, you know, a family friend or something like that, or a colleague, I say to them, how do you know Mona? How do you know one another? So it opens up the conversation on a warm note, a friendly note. And then I always, 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 always ask, so what do you do for a living? And so when they answer that question, you know, a few things happen here. I've got a bit of information about them. You know, they might have told me their reason why in that answering that question, or what they do. They might even say, oh, I'm looking for something else. You know, that's why I'm talking to you. It gives me some feedback so that I can tailor make the presentation accordingly to what is relevant for them and what they can relate to. So and then I always give my introduction of who I am, what I do, you know, and my reason why I'm on this journey, the reason why I have taken up this opportunity for myself. And, you know, hopefully they can relate to that a little bit. Usually they do, because my reason why, and what I start with my introduction is I say, you know, that for the last X amount of years, I've been on this path towards financial freedom for myself and for my family. You know, I realized at a certain point in my life that relying on one stream of income was a very dangerous position to put myself in, because at the end of the day, that company could fail. Something could happen with my health, a pandemic could happen, relevant to what's been going on in the last, you know, for the last 2 years. A lot of people have lost their finances, or coming out of lockdown, they've got no job to go back to. Everybody can relate to that. So I don't make it too specific to me. I make it a relatable issue that people will definitely understand. If they haven't been through it, then they're definitely, excuse me, they'll definitely know what I'm talking about and be able to resonate with it if they were in that position. So it's also your screening process. So it's your screening process. We want high standard, high quality business partners in this industry, in our teams, don't we? We want people that will take the opportunity and run with it. We don't want people who are going to have to chase up every 5 minutes. You know, did you do this? Did you do that? Have you been doing the 100 series? Have you, you know, you want people who have that initiative to just run with it, take it forward, get their heads down, do the work that's in place and what they need to do to move forward, make progress, make those profits. So they're not one of those people that are like, I didn't get paid yet, or you all know what I'm talking about, or one of those people that, you know, have difficulty finding to make that process because they're not actually applying themselves to the information and the tools that we have in place. So screening process, and also it establishes your poise again, because you're asking these questions that kind of cries out a little bit of an interview. I'm talking to you because I want to see if you're fit to come into this industry and to come into my team to work with us, that kind of thing. So it creates your poise and also makes you understand where they're coming from and how serious they are about earning an extra stream of income part-time and also becoming financially free. In a moment, I've got is it a question in the chat box? You love it. Oh, thank you, Preet. That's so lovely of you. Thank you. Okay, edification. Now we've all heard of this, even if we do or don't do it. But it's super important, guys. I can't hit home how important this is to when your mentor is giving a presentation to your contact, or whether they're going on an opportunity call, and how much they respect and trust the person that's giving the information. Is super important. Otherwise, they're going to come to the meeting closed-minded, not open, not fresh-minded, ready to absorb the information and actually understand it or try to. And they'll just be a little bit like, not very warm. You know, they need to be warm to you. They need to be warm to the expert, to whoever is presenting the opportunity, and understand that that person is a person of caliber. That's the most important thing you want to hit home. You want them to understand that this person has experience, this person's position in the company holds weight, this person knows what they're talking about, this person can advise me accordingly, and I will listen because I understand how, you know, how much caliber they have. And that's the point here. So you will have prospects, or you'll have potential business partners, I prefer to say. So they trust you, if they're, especially if they're your friend or your family member, they will trust you, but they might not necessarily respect you in business or have that, you know, have that appreciation. You are progressing on a level, on a great level, and that you know what you're doing really well. They might not have that, you know, that kind of picture of you in their minds. And so if you edify the expert that's going to be explaining the information, that prospect will start to trust your expert even before they've met them or gone on a three-way call with them or gone on a meeting with them. So once you edify the expert, you know, you cry out that they're successful, that they're knowledgeable, that they're helpful, that they're fun. And so when that prospect comes into the meeting, they're ready and willing to listen, ready and willing to absorb the information and believe this person and understand that they know what they're talking about. Super, super powerful if you do this in the right way. So the three-way call, we all know that this is a great way to give our prospect confidence in the platform, and also, you know, make them warmer as well to the opportunity and to the people that are on board, the people that are, you know, the powers that be or whatever, you know, the CEO of the company, Mr. Desamo, whatever have you. And so edification is super important here as well. When they meet your mentor, they should be respectful, considerate, and be on time, you know, and also excited to meet this individual. Because at the end of the day, they know that this opportunity can be a fantastic one for them, you know, and, you know, excited to meet this individual because of their achievements and their caliber. Like I mentioned already. So you're priming your prospect in a way, you're getting them ready, you're getting them juiced up, ready to meet your mentor or meet your, you know, meet your leader or whatever, to come into the meeting and be excited about what they're going to hear. You know, make sure that they hold that kind of energy coming into the meeting, because they're surely going to be excited about the information that they see if that's the case. And so they should be ready and willing to listen to and absorb the information and insights shared there. Leadership, attitude, and pace. So people do not follow people with money. They follow people with vision. What did I say? People don't follow people with money. They follow people with vision. Write that down, everybody. I'm going to call on someone to just read this out for me, actually. Just somebody random. Who forgot? Nandi, can I call you to just read this paragraph out for me? You can unmute yourself. I'm not sure. Joy, you might have a co-host, you might have to unmute Nandi for me. Well, you know what, Joy, you can do it because you're co-host, so unmute yourself and read this paragraph for me, please. Is everybody still with me? You haven't fallen asleep, I hope. Okay, I'll read it, no problem. Okay, so your attitude toward yours and your team's goals are what will be a vivid and glorious picture for your team. But not only your team, it will also those that endeavor to follow you when they see your passion for impacting others. Honestly, you know, so your attitude towards your goals and your team's goals will paint the picture and instill that confidence in your team, but not only them, the people that are watching you from the sidelines to see how well you do at this opportunity. Everybody that you actually plant the seed with, I tell you, from that point forward, they are analyzing you to see how well you do, to see how long you stick it out, to see how committed you are, how successful you'll become. And so as they're following you, they're watching you, you know, all the time, not to scare you, but it's the truth, you know, to see your progress, because they'll be curious is the first thing. But then they'll also, some people just hate. We all know that. Some people just hate. If it's not an opportunity for them, they might want you to fail. So let them just keep watching you and seeing your progress. And I've got to tell you myself, and I'm sure so many of the leaders in this room now will vouch for me and actually agree that some of the people that you sowed a seed with earlier on were not interested, but they've been watching you, and just because of your commitment and sticking it out for as long as you have, they come back around and they say, you know, that thing that you mentioned to me before, I'm interested now to at least have a look at it. I'm telling you, they come around, and a lot of those people become your team members, quite honestly, quite frankly. So I love this quote: leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So when you show people your vision, they will follow you. That's how it works. You know, they see your, and I've also got attitude and pace here, because you, like I mentioned, your attitude towards your goals, etc. You know, your vision, but your pace as well. People follow people, like to follow people with energy, with vigor, with excitement, with high energy, you know. So if you're walking around and you're just kind of like slumped and you're just walking really slow and a bit depressed with life, and just don't really speak with any kind of passion, don't speak with any kind of energy. I'm overdoing it now. I'm exaggerating it a lot, but you get the picture. You don't want to follow someone like that. You want to follow someone that's, yeah, come on, let's go. Today's a new day. Let's put one foot forward. Let's keep advancing, make stuff happen. Let's enjoy ourselves while we're doing it. People follow people like that. People that have got somewhere to be, somewhere that they're rushing to, not people that have got nowhere to go, sitting down, they're being lazy, they're not really doing anything constructive. So have that attitude and that passion and that energy about you. And I'm telling you, people will look at what you're doing and they'll be interested. And they'll probably come to you and ask. You don't even have to go to them. Move people out the way, there we go. Okay, right, urgency. So a little bit of what I just said is urgency. So when you call a meet or contact and start talking about the opportunity, create a way to flee. Create or think of a way that you can flee when they start asking you lots of questions. Unless you're prepared to literally take out your laptop or your tablet and do the presentation then and there with them. I know there are people in the room that can do that, but not all of us can. So at this point, when it's a little bit difficult for you to present or you don't know how to do it yet, I would advise you to literally have an escape route when you're talking to people, especially if it's in person. If it's over the phone, it's a lot easier to do that. And you can say, I'm going into a meeting, I'm about to jump in the shower, I'm about to jump on the underground, I'm driving right now, let me get back to you later on. I'm on the school run, whatever have you. Just have something that you're ready, like when they start, so what is it? What's the company name? What do I have to do? What product do I sell? Blah, 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 all of that. Get off the phone. Basically, get off the phone then and there. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in a question answer session, and that is just not good news, especially if you are unable to present the opportunity for yourself this far, or at the moment, for the time being, until you learn. But yeah, so have something that creates that urgency. I've got, that creates that urgency, but also an escape route to say, listen, I've got to go now, but it's going to be better if we officially meet at a certain time for half an hour, whatever, so that you can get all the information, make an informed decision. Simple. Do you know anyone? This is so effective. Des put this in the 30-day sprint group the other day. I don't know if anybody here who's in the 30-day sprint group clocked it, but it was really powerful. something that I use a lot as well. Yes, you can have the recording, Flavia. Everybody, I'll put it out there for everybody so that you guys can recap over this. No problem at all. Yeah, so do you know anyone? What does this do to the person you're talking to? They're like, hold on a minute, what about me? I'm jealous over here. Why aren't you talking to me about this? So when you go over or around people and say something like, do you know anybody looking for an extra stream of income? Make it sound juicy as well, you know, have that excitement. Looking for an extra stream of income, ambitious, motivated, would love to learn some new skills that they can turn into a fortune, to be quite frank. Do you know anybody like that? What do you think that person's going to be thinking? Hold on a minute, what about me? I'd love extra money. I'd love an extra, you know, dream to build a fortune. I'd love to work with new people. I'd love to learn a new skill. I am ambitious, I'm motivated. I want things to happen for me. So they're gonna instantly feel a little bit neglected and be a little bit like, hey, and come around and actually ask you for more information on the topic. It's like this reverse psychology thing. I like to have fun with people sometimes. Sometimes I just go really dead silent after I've said that. Just let them fester over it a little while they're thinking in the back of their minds, hold on, I'm like that. Please, me. Have fun with it, guys. You can't be too serious with a business like this. So WPP, what is that? The Witness Protection Program. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Put in the chat box a 111 if you have ever been talking to a person and all of a sudden they go cold on you, or they don't respond to your messages, or they start to not pick your calls. Witness Protection Program. Hello, what's your problem? What did I ever do to you to make you act like that? Yeah, exactly. Joy's put a 111 in the chat box. Anyone else? Cheryl, love it. Anybody else? 111 in the chat box if you know people that have done that to you unnecessarily. Really, it's not. Why do they do that? What's the point of that? Like, I just don't get it. People are funny. People are weird, guys. Honestly, people are so weird. It's unbelievable. So I've got a lot of ones in the chat box. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So I like to call it the Witness Protection Program because it literally is like that. Like, they disappear off the face of the planet. It's hilarious. So when people avoid you or avoid whatever, you know, most of the time, I miss most out there, most of the time, there is an understandable reason behind that behavior. 90% of the time, so I should have said. Usually, it's actually nothing to do with you or anything else. It's something personal, or maybe in the back of their minds, there's something that's preventing them from taking up the opportunity right now. They may feel embarrassed about sharing that with you and being straight with you, you know, so it's important to be a little bit sensitive about that possibility and handle the situation with care and support, because you want to be supportive. You want to show them that, you know what, I understand that time is precious, that you have a lot going on. I understand that. So I'm going to be actually quite, you know, patient with you. They'll appreciate that, you know. And an effective way to decipher whether a person is genuinely interested in pursuing the opportunity or not is to just directly ask them, just be straight. Don't beat around the bush, just be straight with it. Like, what's going on here? Obviously in a nice way, not like a sarcastic way like that. But, you know, they'll appreciate your honesty and your bluntness, actually, and hopefully offer the same back. So you can say something along the lines of, when you told me you were ready to change your life and get started, did you mean that? A probing question. Makes them think, I want to change my life. Yes, I do. Who doesn't want to change their life for the better? So everybody wants to. Did you mean that? So then they're going to feel we've lost here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I did mean it. Don't feel funny about it. I'm sorry. when you said whatever excuse they gave you, I don't have time. I don't have the money. My spouse, I have to talk to my husband and wife about it. That one comes up a lot. Was it really the case? Or was this your way of saying that you're not interested? Again, kick in that fear of loss, make them think, hey, hold on. I don't want to lose this opportunity here. So I was serious, and just bear with me because this XYZ, this is what's going on. So hopefully out of this process, you'll get an explanation from them and understand the situation a lot better to see if there's anything you can do to help them get started sooner rather than later. You know, but there is a way around it. And there's the next thing I'm going to talk about is a really effective way to handle the Witness Protection Program saga as well. So when people go to the Witness Protection Program, to get a response from them somehow, some way, I like to use this, this example. It's called the PEST call. So this is when you make someone feel so guilty that they get back to you as soon as possible. How does this work? Hello, hello, Frank, are you okay? Question mark, question mark, put a bit of urgency there and some panic. I have been really worried about you. Is everything all right? Everything all right, Frank? Talk to me, Frank. Talk to me, Frank. I hope there was no emergency. Oh my gosh, no emergency. Please let me know that all is well. You can even elaborate and go extrovert on it, that your family is fine, and that you are well, and that you're fine. And so I can stop worrying about you. Please, Frank, get in touch and at least let me know you're okay. This usually at least sparks a response to say, it's okay, don't panic, I'm all right. I've just been busy, I've just been whatever. At least get back to you. It just opens the door again. Don't bombard them about the business straight away and be like, so you said you'd register, what happened? Or you didn't even respond to my messages to see if you went through the information, blah, blah, blah. Don't make it about the business. Make it about you're genuinely worried and concerned for them. When they realize that, you know, when you realize that, any decent person would be like, okay, let me at least let this person know I'm all right. Like they care that much to reach out. Let me at least just first and foremost, let them know I'm okay so they can stop panicking and worrying. Really effective, guys. Give it a try. It's worked for me, you know, so many times in the past. So hopefully the PEST call will work for you as well. So here we go. Objections. Feel felt found. I know a lot of you know this already. If somebody comes up with all the excuses under the sun, why not to even have a look at the information? You can use this as a tactic. This is again from that amazing person, Eric Worre. Feel felt found. I know exactly how you feel. I felt like I didn't have enough time to do this or even commit just even half an hour a day to doing this. But what I felt exactly the same way. But what I found was coming into this opportunity, I could tailor make my schedule to suit me. I didn't have to attend the appointments that everybody else was attending because most of them are recorded. I could catch up later, but also the way the opportunity is presented and the way the opportunity is super flexible for your time. So whatever you do, whether you're the busiest person on the face of the planet, I was the busiest person on the face of the planet. What you'll find is that you can make it work for you. Because, you know, you can actually, it's flexible, it's really flexible. You don't have to worry about that. Let me reassure you with that. You know, just what you and I will work closely together and I will show you exactly how I overcame this issue for me and made it work for me so that I could actually benefit as much as possible. Now, there is a video by Eric Worre. It's a bit long though. I will play it. It's only a few minutes. It's a few minutes. All right, I have to stop sharing this and share the video for a second because I couldn't embed it in my presentation for some reason. I really wanted to, but I couldn't. So, hey, sometimes you can't. What can we do? Here we go. We improvise. That's what we do.
4 steps to handle these objections, answer these questions, is to get to the next exposure. That's the whole process. Help you keep the conversation going. 1, whatever they say, listen. Really listen. So you understand what it is that they're saying. 2, relate. 3, tell your story or stories. And 4, if I would you. Now, let me walk you through this specifically. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is how you skillfully get your next exposure scheduled. This is how you do it. Person says, you know, this looks great, but I don't have the time. How do you get the next exposure set up versus saying, some will, some won't, so what next? How do you get the next exposure set up? Here's how you do it. You listen, say, you know, when you say you don't have the time, are you saying that I haven't shown you enough to justify your time? Are you like wall to wall, or are you just feeling a little overwhelmed with your schedule? I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed with my schedule. Me too. I totally, when I first took a look at this, I was trying to figure out how in the world, I don't have enough time in the day, I don't have enough time in the week or the month. I got to take care of the work. I got to take care of the house. I got to take care of the kids. I got to try and take care of my body. I got to do all my errands and do all the stuff. The thought of starting a business on top of that was exhausting. We're the same, you and me. You thought about time. I thought about time too. But let me tell you what I realized. Now, I never point at them. I always point at myself. Let me tell you what I realized. I realized at this stage of my life, if I didn't have time, if something didn't change, I was never going to have time. I was going to stay on this hamster wheel for the rest of my life. And that just wasn't, I fast forward 5 years, 10 years. And if I didn't change something, 5 years from now, I'm going to be even more stressed out. I'm going to have even less time. So for me, I decided that for things to change, I had to change. I had to look at something different because the plan that I had was not giving me the time that I wanted to have in my life. So I took a look at this, and I got to tell you, this is part of my story still. I figured it out. I figured out a way to carve some time out. And you know how I view that time in my life? I view that time as a seed planted for my future. Every hour that I spend now building my network marketing business is a seed that I'm planting that's buying my time back. A year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I got different choices, I got different options, I got more freedom. And let me ask you a question. If I could show you how to make this work in a busy life, if I could show you how to fit this into a busy schedule, if I could show you how to do this 15 minutes at a time, here and there, over the course of a busy week, would you at least take the next step with me? Would you at least learn a little bit more? What's the answer most of the time? Sure. All right, fine.
Awesome, guys. So that video, you know, just to kind of reiterated, can't speak, what I just said. But yeah, really powerful. If I would you, feel, felt, found, use these things, they work, you know, just keep them in your little toolbox. This is a little toolbox that goes everywhere with you. So when certain conversations don't go the way you planned or it breaks down, you take one of your tools out, feel, felt, found, you take the other tool out. If I would you know, all of these little things just help if you implement them into how you do things going forward. So amazing, guys. I hope you're getting value. So just put in the chat box a few nuggets that you've picked up along the way. Let's see while I go forward and we'll continue. So just think of a few nuggets that have really stood out to you and said, yes, I'm going to do that and implement it and I'm going to get great results. Let's see what you come up with. So what do you do? This question is fire, guys. This is another tool for your toolbox. So when breaking the ice with a potential team member, I ask this question a lot to lots of different people because the only polite thing to do back once they've said is to, you know, to ask you the same question back. And then you've got the open door to talk about yourself, to talk about what you do. But I wouldn't give them, you know, a straight answer to say, I am. Don't define yourself as something. You know, you can implement you can just sow in little seeds of the benefits that you get from this industry and from this platform. That's the more effective way to do it, because it's like you're dangling a piece of meat in front of their face. You know, you're giving them some bait and you want them to ask the questions back. But not only that, actually become intrigued and interested in what you've got to say and what you do. And then become open to seeing some more information. That's the whole point. So when they do ask you a question back, like I said, rather than say, I'm a trader, I am whatever, I am this or that, highlight the benefits, make them curious and want to know more. So something like, I work with a team to help people become their own boss, pursue their financial goals. I teach people to become financially free. I do XYZ while I build my fortune on a part-time basis. Who is not going to want to know more about that or understand what you're doing? It's incredible, guys. It's really effective. So give it a go. Now, probing questions. So questions while you're doing your presentation. This can happen at the beginning or the end. I'll, you know, let you choose where it seems more effective to do that. In my experience, in my opinion, is quite interesting, because when you do at the beginning of your presentation, again, it creates that poise, and it also gives them that, you know, opens their minds to certain things, gets them thinking before you actually present the opportunity, and then these things can be addressed throughout the opportunity as well while you're explaining. But also, you can do it at the end as well, wrap up with a powerful close, you know, make them think these about these probing questions, give them food for thought to think about, so that once they've seen the information, they go home and these questions are in their mind repeatedly, and they can say, okay, I remember them asking me, I remember her asking me, you know, have you ever thought of working for yourself? When you go home, I really want to work for myself, actually. Do you have any goals that you need to take care of? Yeah, I need to retire my mum. I need to put my kids in private school. Is there a specific goal that's a priority? What would it mean to you if it doesn't happen? You know, put that little fear in their minds to say, I need to make this happen. I need to take action. This opportunity can help me do that. You know, creates a little bit, just a little bit, a gentle bit of panic for them, so that when they go home thinking about it, they're like, you know, tick, 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 tick in their minds. And they get back to you and say, you know what, I want to give this a shot. I want to give this a go. So hopefully you've taken a screenshot and made a few notes of this, but it's recorded anyway, guys, so you can always go back through the recording and see what these probing questions are. I wouldn't say all of them. I wouldn't ask them every single question there, because it's a lot, you know, it'd be like an interrogation. You don't want them to feel like that, but just a few, just enough to just say, listen, you need to do something. You need to step out your comfort zone, or it ain't going to happen. And this is the perfect vehicle for you to achieve what you need to achieve in whatever frame of time you have to do it, you know. And so it's really effective to ask these probing questions. Also on your social medias, you know, it's really effective to do that. Just pick one or two or a few of these, do a poll or whatever, you know, ask certain people these questions, put it out there on your statuses. People will think, it will get people's brain ticking, and they might get back to you and just say, okay, what do I do? You seem to know what you're doing. Help me here. Help me. This is my situation. And the question that you asked today is really hit home. I want to be able to actually make progress in this area of my life. So there you go, guys. That is the last slide. I know you want to cry. It's so sad. This was so fun. It was really fun. I really hope it was of value to you. Let me have a look in the chat box and see what you guys have been writing. Right, really love the feel found. Great, Jackie. Love the objective. It's like, oh, whoops. I know how the educators feel now when the chat box is like moving so fast and you can't read anything. Love the objective. It's like makeup. Yeah, like a makeup bag. Love it. Oops. Or your toolkit, exactly. I like the leadership attitude pace, Quincy. Yes, amazing and gum. Witness protection program, are you okay? Yeah, it works a treat, Joy. Just try it for fun and you'll see the results. So much value, lovely Pre, I'm glad. Do it again, Jackie. Do it again. What, this training are you talking about? Charlotte, thank you so much. This was so informative and helpful. I'm glad, I'm really glad. So much value, loved it. From Jackie, thank you so much. One of the best calls I've listened to this year. Amazing, Pre. Definitely come back then, because I'm going to be doing this every week, but I'm going to be changing things up. So I'll come up with new topics, you know, different new little things that you can implement. It won't always be the same, so don't miss any sessions, all right? Yeah, Joy, you're definitely, yes, LOL. Jackie, yeah, it will be happening every Thursday at 7. Joy, I really enjoyed it. It's really helpful. I'm so glad, guys. You know, I always say this on my trainings, the best way you can thank me or anybody else is to take massive action from here. Take what you've learned and turn it into some progress, you know. There's no point coming here, making all the notes, listening in for an hour or so, and then not doing anything with it. That's the difference between the people that are successful and the people that don't move anywhere, procrastinate all day long, don't move a step forward. So take action, implement the things that I've been saying. And, you know, next week when we meet, I want to hear some testimonies. I want to hear some great reports that you've implemented something from here, even if it's just one thing and you got some results from it. I want to hear those testimonies next week. That's your homework. Okay, let me just read this question in the chat. I sometimes get those blowing, you sometimes get those blowing hot and cold set up MT4 on their phones. Then they set them up on demo accounts and give them trades for about 5 days, then stop. When they ask what's up, I tell them that they need to learn. Perfect. I like that. That's a really good tactic as well. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Flavia. Surely, Joy. Well done. Thanks so much, guys, for your time. I don't take it lightly, and I really hope you got value and learned some great stuff from here that you can take away and implement into building your business. And I want that feedback next week. Take care. Have a great night. God bless. Love you guys lots. And I'll put the recording out very soon.